It was close to midnight when Rachel finally got her daughter Lily to sleep. The baby's soft breathing filled the nursery as Rachel set the small white baby monitor on the dresser. The glowing green light blinked steadily, signaling that it was connected. She tiptoed out, closing the door until only a thin crack remained. Downstairs, the living room felt unusually still. Rachel sank into the couch, pulling a blanket over herself, and picked up her phone. That's when it began. From the monitor, a faint humming drifted through the static. Rachel froze. At first she thought it might be Lily making little sounds in her sleep, but the noise was different, deeper. A man's voice. It was singing. She set her phone down slowly, leaning in. The lullaby was one she recognized. Hush, little baby. But no one else was in the house. Her husband was away on business, and she hadn't had visitors all day. The hairs on her arms stood up. She whispered to herself, it's probably interference. A neighbor's radio. Maybe. But the melody was too clear, too close. Rachel climbed the stairs quietly, her heart pounding with each step. She reached the nursery and pushed the door open. Lily was sleeping soundly, tiny fingers curled around the edge of her blanket. The room smelled faintly of baby powder and lavender. Everything was exactly as she'd left it, except for the fact that the singing had stopped the moment she stepped inside. She walked over to the monitor's camera and stared at it. Nothing seemed out of place. Shaking her head, she told herself she was tired, imagining things back downstairs. She tried to distract herself with television. Half an hour later, the voice returned. This time it wasn't singing, it was speaking. A low male whisper. It's okay, Daddy's here. Rachel shot up from the couch, knocking the remote to the floor. Her chest tightened. Daddy. No one called themselves Daddy to her child except her husband. Her first instinct was to grab her phone and call the police, but she couldn't hear movement upstairs. No footsteps, no creaking floorboards. Just the faint, static-laced sound of someone trying to soothe her baby. She bolted up the stairs. Again, the voice stopped the second she touched the nursery doorknob. Inside, Lily stirred slightly but didn't wake. Rachel checked the window, locked, the closet empty. She even crawled on her hands and knees to check under the crib. Nothing. Still shaken, she decided to bring Lily into her own room for the night. Rachel placed the monitor on her nightstand and kept the baby in her arms as she lay in bed. For hours, there was only silence. At around 3:15 a.m., the monitor clicked. Rachel's eyes flew open. The same male voice, softer this time. She looks just like her mother. Rachel's skin went cold. The voice didn't come from the hallway. It didn't come from the front door. It came from inside the monitor itself, as if the speaker was in the same room as Lily had been earlier. She switched the monitor off. The voice kept talking. I missed her first steps, but I'll never miss another night. Rachel's breath caught in her throat. Grabbing her phone with shaking hands, she called the police, whispering into the receiver so she wouldn't wake Lily. When officers arrived, they searched every room, every closet, every corner. No signs of forced entry, no footprints, no one hiding anywhere. One of the officers, a middle-aged man with tired eyes, asked if she knew anything about the house's history. Rachel shook her head. The officer exchanged a look with his partner. This house used to belong to a man named Thomas Grady, he explained. He raised his daughter here alone. His wife passed away during childbirth about 7 years ago. He had a heart attack in the nursery. Rachel's pulse thudded in her ears. After he died, the place sat empty for years. We've had calls before, people saying they hear things. Rachel didn't want to hear anymore. She spent the rest of the night holding Lily, refusing to close her eyes. She moved out 3 days later. But every now and then, when the house is quiet and Lily is sleeping, she swears she can still hear the faint crackle of the baby monitor, followed by a low, familiar voice singing her daughter to sleep.